does privilege mean to you, and how have you experienced that?
I would say privilege goes as far back as I can remember. If I have the experience of being both male and white, because we work in a world now where that seems to be a dominating characteristic of those who have a comfort zone and, for the most part, experience no persecution or no discrimination, probably more accurately, that I had a comfortable upbringing, not the creme de la creme by any measure, but good schools, good family, extended family, and I was very comfortable with that. And having moved to St. Louis 24 years ago to help open Schlafly Beer, where everyone knows where I work, I looked around me in a slightly different environment from New England, the parts of New England where I was raised, and I saw elements of society that I wasn't as exposed to in, call it, provincial parts of New England. So I know I've felt extremely lucky over the years to have the background I've had, to be white, to be male. I cannot say I've walked in anyone's shoes that those who have experienced more difficulty than I have. And that in itself is a little uncomfortable, because I can't tell stories of persecution or discrimination or racism or sexism. I'm sort of the guilty party, or I'm part of that guilty party. It hasn't been old white men who have caused all the wars and mayhem in the world, but they've got their fair share. Romans, Greeks before them, I mean, going way back over time. So, dominantly male, sure. Dominantly white, it depends on what civilization you're in. So, I share an element of blame for that. I may not lose sleep over it every night, but it doesn't necessarily make for a comfortable position every day. I wish my group had done better. For the power it has, collectively, worldwide, I don't think it's done a very good job of philanthropy. There have been many, but not nearly enough. And I think humans in general don't treat each other well enough. I think there's a... did you say I had 25 minutes here, Peter? Sometimes you just want to go back to the beginning and start over, and let's treat each other with a big, huge hug. If we had a couple of beers together and soften, you don't have to drink beer. Have something else or have nothing. But really take the edge off it and stop all the negativity, because we're not going to get further as a human race because of that. Regarding privilege specifically, again, I'm from that background of very comfortable upbringing, and I feel blessed to have had that, and I think it's incumbent upon people in my category to share that with people and to open your eyes and do something with it. If you have privilege, you should share it with others less fortunate. Maybe that should start by thanking everybody for everything good. Don't dismiss other people because they're in a role that you wouldn't consider having, whether that's custodian somewhere or, I don't know, any blue-collar job or any kind of job where you depend on that role of society to serve you in your elevated role. Without those, you're doomed, because you're not going to, you privileged group of people is not going to survive in society. It takes everybody to do it. I can think of all sorts of people to quote over the years of, why can't we just get along? And I think of that, and my eyebrows are raised. I can't raise one eyebrow. I wish I could. I can, but only like that. Why can't we just get along and elevate humankind? Been around for a long time, and we got a long way to go before we figure it out. Treat people like you want to be treated and give back, whether that's paying it forward or returning kind favors. But man, if you're in a privileged position, do something with it, because there are a whole lot of people, like the iceberg, probably like most, who aren't in that position. So my wife's mother died when my wife Sarah was 16, and her epitaph, which is the thing on the tombstone, says, "Kindness is the greatest force in the world." And I learned from a friend at work years ago, before he died. He was a bass player for a lot of good string bands around here, and he always said, "Kill them with kindness." And maybe you shouldn't have kill and kindness in the same sentence, but what it really means is bend over backwards to treat people with civility and kindness. People are mean and stupid short ways all the time, and you just don't need to do that. And I regret the time. Oh, well, I want to take back a few words here and then. If it's at all tinged with meanness, don't say it. And if you do, try not to say it next time. Don't beat yourself up over it. You don't have to give yourself lashings. That's not our church, is it? Episcopal church with lashings in the cellar? I don't think so. Like the albino with the whip and, no, that's not our, can you pass me that beer? No, we don't have any beer here, sorry. We don't do self-flagellation. There's no need to do it. If you want to pinch yourself because you said something unkind to somebody, just remember not to say it again. That's all. So if your privilege is that you are gifted with a wide variety of things, money, possessions, place to live, clothes. I've got clothes on my back. There are a lot of people in this world who might have one change of clothes or something. A lot. We may not see that in America all the time, but there are a lot of people. Assume everybody has less than you. The Smiths and the Joneses, stop that race. There's no point. You can go buy all you want. What's it going to do? You're not taking it with you. You can bury it in your vault if you want, but really, that's just a waste. That's not the reduce, reuse, recycle thing, is it? So leave it here, reduce your possessions, increase your spirituality, and if you have privilege, share your goodness with other people.